are wanting to start an Etsy shop, or you've just started an Etsy shop and you're wondering what it is that you need to do to start that Etsy shop and make your first sale as soon as you can, and also other tips and tricks and things like that, then keep watching this video. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is for all of you Etsy beginners out there. If you want to start an Etsy shop in 2020 and you want to make money on Etsy in 2020, now is the time to do it. This video is going to help you with all the little tips and tricks and like a numbered list of these things you've got to do in a particular order in order for you to set your Etsy shop up successfully. These are all things that I wish that I had done or done more of to get my first sale quicker and to get me making more money faster than I did. Not that I didn't make money fast at all, but I just feel like these were the reasons why I didn't make money literally straight off the bat. So I'm going to go through some of them in this video. Before I start though, please give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe. If you're starting an Etsy shop, subscribe. This is the YouTube channel where you need to be. I'm sharing all of my Etsy tips, tricks, teachings, trainings, everything that I know, I'm sharing with you through this YouTube channel. And also, you need a support network. Go and join my Facebook group. You'll find the link in the description box below. It is such an amazing community, and I go live in there once a week, and I do live trainings and teachings in there as well. Things that you will not be seeing on the YouTube channel. So exclusive content, definitely worth joining. So go and have a look at that in the description box as well. But let's get started. So when you first think about starting an Etsy shop, or you first start an Etsy shop, you may be thinking, how can I start this Etsy business and make my first sale? How can I sell on Etsy? How can I sell on Etsy successfully? What is this Etsy game and Etsy business all about? Well, we are going to be going through some amazing tips that's going to answer those questions for you. So the very first thing you need to do before you even open your Etsy shop is to identify that this is a legitimate business, okay? You're not just selling a few little odds and sods on eBay that you find scattered around your house. You are wanting to start a legitimate business, and the sooner that you get into that mindset of this is a business, this is going to be my business, the better, because that is one thing that I didn't do in the beginning. I was just wanting an outlet to sell my jewelry. I had a website and a brand and things like that. But you have to identify that the Etsy shop is almost a micro business in itself. There is so much to learn, so much to know, but there is so much reward that you get at the end of it once you do all of this. So just make sure that you identify that this is your business, this is a legitimate business that you are starting. The next thing is to always start with what you have. I think there seems to be this kind of idea that you need to have all this expensive equipment, you need office, you need a workspace, you need a desk, you need a high-tech computer, printer, everything like that. And at the end of the day, just start with what you have. For example, cameras. You do not need an expensive camera. Modern smartphones can take amazing pictures, and I actually have a video on my channel showing you exactly what to do when you have a smartphone and you have a product and you want to take some pictures. I literally walk you through exactly how I used to do it and how those photos got me thousands of pounds worth of sales before I upgraded my camera and spent money on it and things like that. But when you very first start out, just start with what you have. If you have a phone, you're basically set. You can list things on Etsy through the Etsy app. You don't need an expensive laptop. You don't need the latest iPad and things like that. Honestly, guys, just start with what you have first. The next thing is to realize that having a killer idea or a killer niche is where the money is. It's not in how much you spend on advertising. It's not in how much time and research you put into your SEO or search engine optimization, basically keywords. It is your idea and your niche, which then leads on to your brand, which then leads on to your target customer. And that neatly leads me on to my next point. Knowing your target customer straight off the bat is something really important. It is a lot easier to find out your target market first before starting a business, rather than starting it and then having to go back and work out who your target market is. The next thing is you have to do something or make something that you have passion for. Honestly, guys, there is going to be times where you are putting the hours in, you're putting the effort in, and you're not seeing any returns out of it. And it's the passion alone that drives you through those difficult times when you're not making any money, you're putting in all the time and all the effort. So you need to make sure that you have a genuine passion for what you're going to be making, for the business that you're going to be starting. The very next thing is to just know that you will have to be putting in a lot of time. You will have to be putting the time in, whether you work a full-time job, whether you are a full-time mum and work a full-time job, whatever. You have to identify that this is a time commitment, a lot like a lot of other hobbies and things that you would, you know, want to do, but this is a business. If you are starting this to, you know, develop your financial future and make your financial future brighter and better for you, that is where you should be putting your time, not watching Netflix till 3 o'clock in the morning. Do your Etsy shop, because guys, honestly, in the beginning especially, you will need to put that sort of time into it. The next thing is to start investing in yourself. Now, whether that is time or money is completely up to you. In the beginning, it's very much a time investment, but you have to invest in yourself. Now, if you want to invest your time, I have the perfect thing for you. I have made you a 74 page workbook, which is free. You can grab it in the description box below. Honestly, it's amazing for people wanting to start an Etsy shop. It's called 30 Days to a Kick Butt Etsy Shop. It's literally a 30-day workbook for you to work through to get your Etsy shop started off on the right foot. Honestly, guys, grab it, it's free, it's amazing. And also guys, if you're wanting to invest money to educate yourself and learn more about Etsy, I have the perfect course for you. It's called The Shortcut to Success. That will be in the description box as well. The next thing is to start small. You may be going on to Etsy and doing your research, and that is something that I recommend you do wholeheartedly, but you can't go on to Etsy shops that have 500 listings and think, oh my goodness, I have to make 500 listings in a month to launch on the right foot. That is not what you need to do. You need to start small. Start with what you have and start small. Everything when you first start an Etsy shop is such a learning process. You are constantly trying things, they fail. Going in a different direction, they fail. Doing something else, that fails. And then you find the right path. It is constantly trial and error. And if you're starting off by making 100 listings and you take pictures in a way that you think is, but it turns out that your target market doesn't like them, you have to retake them again. It's a whole heck of a lot more difficult if you've already made 100 listings. So definitely start small and start with what you have. The very next thing is to not compare yourself to other makers. And I know that this can be really, really tempting, especially when you're doing the research phase of your preliminary findings and things like that. But please don't compare yourself to other makers. Don't look at someone else and someone else's stats and how much money they've made. Whether that's looking in Etsy shops or whether that is looking on Facebook groups and looking at people's goals and what they've hit and monetary and things like that. Don't compare yourself to other makers. Don't look at it as they are there, I am here, how on earth am I going to get there? Think of it as they are there, I am here, but that shows that if they can do it, I can do it too. And if you're really, really prone to just comparing yourself to other makers quite badly, just don't look at other makers. Do a random search on Etsy, look at the results page only, but don't go onto shops. Don't start snooping, don't start Facebook stalking them. If you know that you are prone to really just comparing yourself and bringing yourself down, then just don't do this. The next thing is to start building an email list from day one. I didn't take too long with this, I have to say. It did get drummed into me, especially with the other e-commerce businesses and things that I've had in the past and what I've had experience in. But honestly, guys, start an email list today. I actually have a video that walks you through why you should have one, what you should send, how you can get one, etc, etc. I'll put that in the description box below for you. Go and watch that. It's a really, really easy video to follow. But definitely start growing an email list from day one, because as a matter of fact, every single day, every single week, month, whatever, if you haven't already started your email list, you're losing email subscribers. You're basically losing money, and that is not good, especially from a business standpoint, because remember, this is a legitimate business. So definitely start an email list today. The next thing is your Etsy shop name. Now, I know that maybe having an Etsy shop name or thinking about it right now may be a little bit over your head. You may be thinking, wait, Steph, I need to just get an idea first. But what I'm going to say is that you have to make sure that you pick what type of products you're going to sell, then pick your name, because I've seen quite a lot of shops that their name doesn't reflect what they actually sell. And I have to say that this was something that I really, really struggled with myself. A lot of people may say just name it after you, put your name in it, something like that. But if you name it after yourself, people won't know what it is that you sell. And I have seen a lot of Etsy gift shops that say gifts by Janine or gifts by whoever. And I have to say is that doesn't really tell me what you sell. If it is jewellery by Stephanie, let's say, just for an example, I know that it is jewellery and it is made by Stephanie. So just make sure that your name reflects what you actually do, because as well as it, you know, making your brand easier to identify, it also tells people exactly what you sell before they even click on your Etsy shop. And also from an SEO standpoint, if you have a keyword that you're trying to aim for in your name, that just makes you fare better in the search engines. And you can actually change your Etsy shop name. You can't do it too often, but you can change it. So don't worry, you're not set in stone when you pick your name. The next thing is start with a schedule in mind. Now, I did say that this is going to be a bit of a time constraint. You're going to have to invest a lot of time into your Etsy shop. But the best thing to do is to start with a schedule. When are you going to work on your Etsy shop? From what time to what time? What days a week? How many hours a week are you going to be putting into your Etsy shop? How many listings a month are you going to get up? How many photos a week are you going to take? These are all the things that you need to know, that you need to identify before you start. Now, I have to say, the 30 days to a kickbutt Etsy shop is amazing for this. It's kind of like a ready-made schedule already for you. Again, that's free in the description box below. But you have to make sure that you schedule in your time, commit it in your calendar, commit that time to your Etsy shop beforehand. The next thing is research and know your competition. Now, I know that I've said don't compare yourself to other makers, but you have to research and know what is going on in your trade, what is going on in your niche. If you sell t-shirts, you have to know what is the best selling t-shirts at the moment, what are the trends, what shops are killing it on Etsy. Without comparing yourself to them, you have to know what is going on in your niche. And it does help, especially when you're looking at keywords and you're looking at advertising and things like that. It does help to do all of this. Now, again, I do go into detail, in depth, into this in the Shortcut to Success course. Again, that'll be in the description box below. But seriously, guys, you have to become the authority and educate yourself in your niche. And the very last thing is to pick one social media channel and stick with it. I did the big four when I very first started. I did Instagram, I did Facebook, I did Twitter, and I did Pinterest. Now, if I was to do it all over again, I would start with one. And as a matter of fact, when I've started new businesses afterwards, for example, Handmade Bosses, this YouTube channel, I have picked one social media channel, and that is it. Because try as you may, you will not become really good at every single social media platform. You might be really good at Twitter, but you might suck at the rest of them. You might be really good with Facebook, but not really understand Instagram and Pinterest. Honestly, guys, you need to pick one, and you need to learn as much as you possibly can, which is, again, is another time investment. You have to learn as much as you possibly can about that one social media channel first. Don't start opening up 2, 3, 4, 5, TikTok, Pinterest, Twitter. Just focus on one. It'll be a lot less daunting, and you can get your followers up on that particular channel, and then you can even cross them over to other channels as you grow and develop. But definitely just start with one. So guys, I hope these quick fire tips helped you. I know that I have a lot more. I could talk about this for hours, and I do in the Shortcut to Success course. I do have lots of other videos on my channel, but these tips were the things that I think no one really talks about, no one really tells you. It's obvious that you have to do SEO and price your items right and what have you, but these tips, I felt that they weren't really talked about, and they are tips to help you start on Etsy and make sales and make money on Etsy in 2020. So guys, give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're starting an Etsy channel. Subscribe, you will find immense value. Your Etsy shop will thank you. And put a comment in the comments box below. What Etsy shop are you going to start? Are you thinking about starting Etsy? Are you not thinking about starting Etsy? Tell me, I'd like to know. So guys, I shall see you in the next video. Bye!